Hey guys, on this episode, we're gonna take a look at Anakin Skywalker. We are almost done with the series. Only have Jango Fett to do next. Also have the special, and after that, we are done with the Age of the Republic. So, like I mentioned today, we're gonna do Anakin Skywalker. Hey guys, so on today's episode, we're going to take a look at the Anakin Skywalker issue. This Age of the Republic has been such a great series with single one character issues. So in this one, we do see a lot of growth development in the character of Anakin Skywalker, even though we see plenty of him in the Clone Wars and throughout the movies. Just to continue to see him grow is definitely a great time for me. So first, the two main things we're going to see in this episode are the first being is we see Anakin Skywalker that he has truly implemented and is definitely taking to heart the teachings of the Jedi. You can see that there is a point here where it's either a Jedi or a soldier, and Anakin wants to be a Jedi. So he understands right from wrong, and he understands what a Jedi should be. This makes episode 3 so much harder, right? Because we know that Anakin does know right from wrong. So we know that in episode 3, he does believe what he's doing is the right thing. That's just what makes it such a heartbreaking aspect of the whole series. The second thing is we do see how Anakin relies on emotion for strength, something that is contrary to point number one that I just mentioned. Because as we all know, there is no emotions, there is peace. So we can see Anakin Skywalker take away from his emotions to gain strength. And we saw that in Clone Wars, the movie, the Attack of the Clone Wars, because when he found his mother dead, he just went on a rampage with his emotions to kill all the Sand. And we see that in numerous times within the Clone series, and we see that again here, how he pulls from his emotions to become a stronger, to improve his strength with the Force. All right, guys. So, like every other issue, we start off with mentioning the locations, characters, and any special things that we do see encounter in this issue, so you guys can follow along with me. So first, we'll start off with location, and we hear the Corvair sector. And this issue is the first time we read about the Corvair sector, but in future comic books that already came out in the TIE Fighter issues, they do which is a 5 series issue, which I'm also gonna do in next after Age of the Republic. There's plenty of content for Star Wars, and that's what I'm enjoying so far. But the Corvair sector is also, after it was introduced in this comic, we see it in TIE Fighter 1, TIE Fighter 2, and TIE Fighter 3. It's a 5 issue, 4 and 5 have not come out yet, so I'm not sure if it comes out there. But from here, we just understand the Corvair sector, and we also understand the planet it resides on, which is Kudo 3. In Kudo 3, we are going to follow a droid foundry there, and that's pretty much where the story takes place. Other location is we do follow the Resolute. The Resolute is the flagship that Anakin Skywalker resides in through the Clone Wars. And the Admiral here is Admiral Yularen. And for those that don't know Yularen, we have seen Yularen numerous amount of times. We see him in the Clone Wars, in Attack of the Clone Wars. So the movie, the series, we also see him obviously in plenty of comic books. We hear about him in plenty of books. We also see him, for those that don't know, we see him in Rebels, the cartoon series. He is next to Thrawn in certain scenes. And we also see him in A New Hope. I'm not 100% sure if we see him in Rogue One. So if you guys know if we see him in Rogue One, let me know. But yeah, this guy has been a high rank army personnel since the beginning of the Republic. Since the Republic all the way to its successor, the Empire. So we do see Yularen, and he does play a big role. Next, some more characters we see. Obviously, Anakin Skywalker. He is the main character we follow throughout this series. Next, we do see certain scenes of Anakin and Obi-Wan. These are my favorite scenes to watch. Seeing Obi-Wan and Anakin interact as Master and Padawan always bring joy to me. These scenes are amazing, and I can't wait to talk about them. We also talk about, we see some flashbacks of little Annie, his mom, his slave master, and this is a new race that we're gonna encounter. They're called the Kudon race, and they reside on Kudo, which again is the new planet we found in this issue in the Corvair sector. We also see some clankers here, and we can see that this is the moment where Anakin drags into his emotions because he remembers his time as a slave. Some other characters we're gonna see R2D2 and we're gonna see Anakin's Jedi Starship, which again is awesome. I think that's it. Like I mentioned, we do see Yularen, the Resolute, Kudo 3, Corvair Sector. So first, let's talk about the cover. This cover, we see Anakin Skywalker holding his lightsaber. Unfortunately, I'm not a big fan of the cover, and it's not because it's badly drawn. I think the artwork is amazing, but usually a cover needs to really grab my attention. And from here, there's nothing really grabbing my attention in this cover. So let's start off. Like I mentioned, we start off in the Corvair sector, and we do have a space battle going on between the Republic and the Separatists. Obviously, I am a huge fan of space battles, and one of the main reasons I do love the new technology we have in the movies and the cartoons because they make the space battle so much better. I mean, The Force Awakens, when we see the Rebellion come in, when the First Order is attacking, it's just a great scene. And just in all the cartoon series. So yes, we have a nice space battle, and like always, General Skywalker is here saving the day. So again, huge scene, huge fan of space battle scenes, and this right here is one of my favorite scenes from this comic strip. Throughout the first few pages, we continue to follow this battle. Nothing important about the battle except that the Republic did not expect to find a droid contingency of this magnitude in this sector. Later on throughout this issue, when we end up in the Resolute, we find out why there were separatists around here, and it is because Republic intelligence located a previously unknown droid foundry on the third moon of Kudo. So this explains why there were droids around, because there is a droid foundry around. So right now, their military presence, they are pretty close, and they have a short time limit to be able to destroy this foundry. They have about 2 days before the nearest separatists can arrive with reinforcements. So obviously, there is a timeline before they can destroy this separatist foundry, this droid foundry, without any resistance against them. So obviously, Anakin agrees that strike quick and hard. They do. Yularen provides Anakin with a report on based on their attack, and Anakin questions that there is a huge casualty numbers, and they understand. He responds that there is because the Kudan populations has sided with the Separatists. Before this, the Kudan had not chosen a side, so Anakin is like, "This is wrong. The Kudan have not chosen a side, and in this conflict." Yularen responds that intelligence says that that is no longer the case. Yularen recommends a strategic strike to the foundry that they believe should fully destroy the facility. Anakin is having second thoughts on this because that will kill everyone inside, living beings, not droids or soldiers. Unfortunately, this is the reality of wars, and it can get ugly. Anakin suggests a different type of attack, a two-pronged attack, which would give opportunity to evacuate the Kudan. Yularen disagrees with this because it would put their men at risk. So he would rather lose other people than his men. Anakin understands this, but he believes that this is not what he should do. So Anakin understands Yularen's reasoning. He understands that the second two-pronged attack would do more casualties for the men, and that they should not try to lose their clone soldiers. But Anakin also knows that he's not wrong. As a Jedi, he should not be killing innocent people. He should definitely try to find somewhere to go, and he is conflicted. He wonders if this is what leadership is, to make impossible choices. This right here is a funny scene. He says he'd rather just flies, and that's it. That's all he says. This to me just resembles another one of Anakin's favorite scene where he just says, "I just hate sand." So just this one liner just shows how simple Anakin Skywalker can be outside of his true emotion conflict happening. We continue to see Anakin, and Anakin's master Obi-Wan comes out and tries to talk with Anakin. Obi-Wan does mention that Admiral Yularen did talk to him, and Anakin says, "Let me guess, he wants me out of the ship." Yularen is not the type of person to hold ego, and he wanted Obi-Wan to speak to Anakin to see if they share the same concerns. Obi-Wan obviously understands Anakin because the people in the foundry aren't soldiers, but he is right about the risk to the clone soldiers. So Anakin and Obi-Wan and Yularen, Anakin and Obi-Wan are on the same page. They understand Yularen's attack, but they also understand that these aren't people that should die. Anakin here's where we see how Anakin understands what the Jedi are supposed to be. Isn't that the whole reason the Jedi are a part of this war, to help save lives? So Anakin understands that he is a Jedi for anything. But Obi-Wan obviously understands that the answer can't be as simple. But as we're all learning, war is very rarely simple. And Obi-Wan even goes on to talk that there's even people inside the Republic who view the clones as disposable. And obviously we see this in the clone series, the cartoon series. We see that there are even some Jedi's that believe that the clone wars are disposable. They are just meant to make the job done, and that's it. It doesn't matter if they're casualties. At least Admiral Yularen has more respect for his men than that. And that is very true. Admiral Yularen, it is a respectable leader. He definitely is a respectable leader. And we can see that here. He cares about his soldiers. Anakin here, he says that he understands. He doesn't believe Yularen is a bad soldier or even a bad man. But everything he learns studying from the Jedi as Obi-Wan's Padawan shows him that slaughtering people is wrong and it's just plain wrong. Obi-Wan here talks and he's like, "You've gone far from from being my former Padawan." He tells him to trust the Force. And just like any answer that any Jedi ever gives, and it's always trust the Force. No matter what your question is, the only answer the Jedi ever provide is to trust the Force. So Anakin does that. He trusts the Force. He goes on, he flies out of the Resolute, and we can see here he does have a flashback that it actually got pretty heated between Admiral and the Jedi. Here he says, "So you prefer to listen to your emotions instead of the Admiral." And Anakin says, "I am a Jedi, Admiral. I'm here to do what is right." And no matter what is, he is first a Jedi, whatever military rank they give him. So again, we continue to see Anakin understand that he understands what the Jedi really are, even though he was raised through this time where war is pretty much all he knows, except for the first part of his training where there were no wars. Pretty much throughout his whole life as an adult and even as a high teenager, a young adult, all he knows is military. But it's great to know that even though all he's seen is war, he understands that he is a Jedi first. They don't commit mass murder from the distance. Anakin ends up making it to the droid foundry here in Kudo 3, which is the moon of Kudo. Tells R2 to jam the sensors before he approaches. They end up approaching the foundry, but Anakin is having a little second thoughts. He's like, there's no civilizations around here. The foundry is defenseless, and there's no form of activity going on. So he doesn't believe things are going right. He tells R2 to stay here and to make sure the ship is ready to fly, just in case they need a lift in a hurry. Continues to walk through the foundry, and he hears no machinery running. He believes intelligence has wrong, and then he feels it. He feels people suffering. He feels the suffering through the Force. And we can see the huge connection that Anakin has with the Force. Ends up heading the way, and he sees that the Huron have not chosen a side. They are not here by choice. They are here by force. They are making battle droids, but they are doing it by force. This reminds Anakin when he was a slave. And this is definitely a touchy subject. Again, We see him. Oops, almost dropped my light. We see him becoming, even in the Clone Series, we see him when slaves come into play. He takes a huge emotion out of this, and he has the emotions guide his true purpose. So see here we see that these aren't workers, these are slaves. And you can see him, the emotion is flowing through him. He goes in and he becomes Super Saiyan, amazing Jedi super god mode. And he starts attacking the Clone Wars, the clankers like nothing. Destroys the clankers, and in the meantime, he also frees the Kudan race. The Kudan, they tell Anakin that, hey, they were originally afraid of Anakin because he is the Republic. And the Kudans are worried because the Separatists gassed the Kudan. They brought them here while they were sleeping, and then they told them to build because the Republic were coming to kill them. They told, like here, they told us the Republic was coming to kill us. Anakin reassures them that that's not what he's here to do. He's here to free them. He tells the Kudan to grab blasters and to help him fight. The Kudan respond that even though they're not part of this war going on, it doesn't mean that they can't fight. And we can see here, these are a very muscular race. They would definitely be a huge, if they were to join the war, this type of race would definitely be a huge swing to either side. You can see they definitely have strong muscular muscles, and just having those horns on their heads can make them seem like a huge warrior base race. So we can see them continue to fight. They fight for their freedom, and they obviously that ends it, right? Anakin returns to the rescue. He tells Obi-Wan and Yularen what's going on, and they understand that this was a trap made by the Separatists. They captured the Kudan race. They made them work there, and then they leaked rumors easy enough to target, so the intelligence, the Republic intelligence, can get this. And then eventually, if Anakin wasn't there, what was gonna happen is Lauren would have bombed this foundry. The Separatists would have blamed the innocent victims on the Republic, which would have persuaded the remaining Kudans to join the Separatists. So obviously, it is an evil plan in the Separatist mentality, and it is a plan that would have worked if Anakin wasn't there. Anakin, the Kudans did not decide on the side yet, but at least they have not decided to join the Separatists. So this is how the series ends, and like I mentioned, it's pretty cool to see Anakin's past, to see Yularen, and to see a lot of the characters here. We do see this new sector that we're gonna continue to see in further comic books, in the TIE Fighter comic books. So I'm excited to just have a preview of what's to come. So again, let me know what you guys think about this issue. Let me know how you guys think about the video. Next, we have the Jango Fett issue, which again, that one I would say is definitely a top issue for this series. The Jango Fett. I already read it, and I'm gonna go and make the video soon. And after that, the special series. So make sure to subscribe, guys, so you guys get updates on the new episodes. So take care, have a good night, and see you next time.